So in this video, we are going to Tampines again for
Pioneer Residences.
this March. We will have two new launches, which is the Pioneer Residences and also the Revel. So if let's say you are looking going into the EC market, or you're a first-time upgrader who's looking to touch base into the property market, maybe you are weighing your options on whether to buy a private condo or EC, just click on the link above here to know more about the Revel EC. So, but however, in this video, we are going to touch on Pioneer Residence, which is one of the most anticipated new launches in the OCR area. It's because of the integrated mixed development, the closeness to the MRT station, and beautiful layout. Do watch the whole video to know more, and don't forget to just like, subscribe, or just put in a comment if let's say you have any.
Any interaction you make with our YouTube channel will help in the algorithm and let our videos get discovered by others.
Yeah, it's also one way to tell us that we are doing a good job and keep on continuing these unbiased
Reviews.
Yes.
Here at New Condo Reviews, Andik and me, Mirta, have created this channel to help families, buyers, investors, new first-time homeowners, home buyers to get a foot into the private property market. So before anything, we have to let you know that all content is based on our personal opinions, our personal research and assumptions, for informational purposes only, for educational purposes. Okay, any property details are subjected to market conditions and can be changed anytime by the developers or by Singapore policies. Okay, so buyers should conduct their own due diligence and seek professional advice, maybe us, if you are interested in this project.
I think it's very important to do your own due diligence also. We are not buying something from the mama shop or the supermarket, because we are buying something that's $1 million. Okay, of course, there are some people out there who claim to be experts and you just follow with the crowd. I don't think that's the right way to do any investment at all. Okay, take every advice at a pinch of salt. Okay, your due diligence is very important in any aspect. Okay, our goal here is not only to educate, we educate, and plus what we actually want is a more informed viewers out there, so that you can make the right decision for your family.
Okay, so let's talk about Pioneer Residences. It's a rare mixed development in the Tampines Mature Zone, Tampines West.
Yeah, the developers are Hoi Yap Realty and also Sunway Realty. So previous project they have done is the Continuum, the Terra Hills, and also Key Residence.
And you must know that Hoi Hub and Sunway, they're actually the band 1. They are band 1, class 1 in the BCA developers mark. Means they have a good reputation. They are trusted in Singapore's construction industry. Yes.
Yeah, I think what they have done with Continuum, with the landscaping and also some of the ideas, the link bridge where they make the number 8, they are interesting or out of the ordinary kind of houses. So when they come in as a developer, when they come in, you will be looking not just a unit, not just a property, but you are looking at something that you are proud to hold on to.
And of course, it must be safe. Okay, let's go into the development details. Okay, so it's a mixed-use development, a commercial podium with supermarket, food court, early childhood development center, and it consists of 6 blocks of 14-story residential flats. Okay, so there's a total number of 588 residential units. The total land size is 23,512 square meters, and the plot ratio 2.63. Okay, so for residential gross floor area, it's about 50,000 plus square meters. Okay, and the commercial mall will be approximately 11,300 square meters. Okay, so that will be comprising your restaurants, retails, supermarket. Okay, and a large area would be catered to restaurants and retails, actually, about 9,000 plus square meters. Okay, the tenure, of course, is 99 years from 7 Jan 2025. And the number of car park lots is 474 car park lots. Okay, so that's about 80% of the total units there. And the commercial car park lots will be 164.
What I can see here, the number of car park lots and the unit lots is not in sync, not 1:1. However, I think it's a fair number of car park lots being allocated, given that this is a private condo, so we will be expecting 2-bedder. Most likely will be rented out to tenants who do not own car. So the bigger unit for the 3-bedder 4-bedder, 5-bedder, most likely family will need to have a car, then the allocation will be 1:1 lah. So I feel that even though we have about 100 over the difference between units, residential units and car park about 100 over, I don't think that will be a very big issue with regards to the car park allocation.
And also the project is actually linked to the underground MRT. So most people would take the MRT anyway. So before we buy anything, we can look at the show flats. We can see that everything is shiny, awesome, but we have to do our 3-filter reality check, which is the location, product, and exit.
Yeah, so this is the basic 3-filter reality check that at least every one of you should do first before buying a property, or instead of entering the show flat and just listening to the salesperson pitch. Okay, do your due diligence. This is one of the diligence that we will do together with our clients, and then of course there will be a lot more, such as affordability, whether it's safe, whether it meets your timeline, what is your projection for the investment, etc., etc. Okay, our 2 hours consultation does not only include this 3-filter check. So however, for the general public, this should be the bare minimum that you should have in mind.
Okay, so for our first location reality check, we actually have done a complete analysis of it in our Revel EC video, which includes transformation around the area, the schools available around Pioneer Residences, and Tampines Street 94 and 95. So just click on the video to access our Revel EC review.
For Tampines, those people who live in Tampines would know that this is a mature estate in the OCR area. Unlike Pasir Ris, which is relatively new, and Bedok, which is relatively older, Tampines is in between these two estates. And given that they are actually a mature estate, we can see a lot of good schools that are around that area, such as St. Hilda, Junhuan,
and St. Anthony's Conversion Primary.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about Pioneer, there is an underground link to the MRT station, unlike Revel. Yeah, Revel you have to walk upstairs, but Pioneer you walk underground, linked to your from a unit to the MRT station.
So imagine going to the supermarket, going to the dropping off your child at the childcare, going to work. There is no rain or shine that will affect you because everything is underground.
So some of the examples that you can look at is Pasir Ris 8 and also Lentau Modern as well, where they have integrated the shopping malls and the MRT station underground. So next will be the
product reality.
So product reality, we will be touching on the sites plan, how's the block distance, and also the future development, and also the floor plans. Not only you will get the macro view, but you also get the micro view of the project that you are buying. So firstly, we'll be looking at the site plan.
Okay, so what the developers have done here is to segment them into 3 parts: the Vitality Sanctuary, the Play Cove, and the Family Oasis. Okay, so the Vitality Sanctuary will consist of your gymnasium, spa, pool deck, 50 meters lap pool, hydrotherapy pool, fragrant garden, tranquil garden. So all your calming activities, all your wellness activities will be centered in the Vitality Sanctuary, which is at the top. And then towards your left, it's the Play Cove, where your multi-purpose court is, kids playground, barbecue pavilions, and the play lawn. Okay, and then on the other side is the Family Oasis, which includes the function rooms, the games room, reading room, private dining lounge, family pool, your splash pool, kids pool, kids party room, and anything that has to do with gatherings, family gatherings, big groups. Yes.
Even on the site plan itself, you can see a lot of greeneries, a lot of trees. There's also something that is quite unique with regards to these two developers. They love to embody greeneries with also the blue swimming pool. So you can see, unlike ECs, okay, these units are actually very well placed, where the units are far apart from each other. That is something that a lot of buyers, private buyers want, okay, where not only buying a product, okay, we are buying a lifestyle when we are going into a private condominium.
And actually, Pioneer Residences got their name from Tampines, and Tampines got their name from the Tampines trees. So they are basically embodying the greenery, the nature, as what Andi mentioned, into their project.
Based on the site plan itself, you can see that most of the bigger units are all the corner units, and premium units, corner units, and also pool facing. From blocks to blocks, units to units, actually we can see that it's quite far apart from each other.
Yes. For block distance wise, the closest unit is actually a stack 34 and 30, which is about 17 meters. and the rest are actually 20 meters or more. So that's a very good distance.
I think interestingly for this, for the car park itself, they didn't make a multi-story car park. They didn't make an underground car park, but instead they make a car park above the shops. Okay, so means the lowest level will be at least level 3 and above, which is quite nice actually. Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of buyers that we serve usually will try to avoid level 1 and level 2. So Hoya, the developers itself has thoughtfully think that okay, rather than we have level 1, level 2, which is very hard to sell, let's make it level 3.
So all units will be elevated from level 3 onwards, above the shops and above the car park.
Yeah, the distance from block to block that's mentioned by Nuta just now was actually quite good, where we have a minimum 17 meters of a distance. That is also quite close if you compare with Revel. Actually, many of the blocks are 17 meters. Okay, in contrast for this development, only 2 units are facing each other at 17 meters. The rest are minimally at 26 meters. Even from the distance from the road to the blocks will be about 25 meters away for those units that are facing outwards towards the roads. Yeah, then from HDB, even the HDB, you can see like block number 1, block number 924, even though it put there 15 meters away from the HDB block, but actually that is not the balcony. We are just facing the wall. So I guess you have maximum privacy for a lot of the blocks, a lot of the units in this development.
Okay, similarly, Pioneer Residences, similar to Revel EC, they are surrounded by a lot of BTO blocks and also a future health institution and a place of worship in the future. So, being in a developed area already, there is not much construction going around near Pioneer Residences. So, if you are somebody that likes convenience and everything readily accessible, then Pioneer Residences is a pretty good place to live in. Plus, being in the light industrial zone, the purple areas, okay, as an investor, probably next time, your tenants might come from people who work in these light industrial areas nearby.
So you see the breakdown of the unit. So in this development, the biggest number of units are made up of 2-bedroom and 2-bed plus study, which makes up 43% of the total, then followed by a 3-bedder, which is 35%, and 20% will be 4-bedder, and the biggest will be the 5-bedder plus home shelter. That is 2%. So you only 12 only in there.
So you can see that this developer is trying to attract both a mix of investors as well as homeowners. Okay, because most of the units are 2-bedders, and you'll see later on that they have a mix of layouts, dumbbell layouts, and the traditional tucked to one side layout. Yeah, so dumbbell layouts are usually popular among investors who rent out their units because of the separation of rooms.
Okay, so now we're going to the layout for the 2-bedder plus study, which is a type BM at 75 square meter. Okay, if let's say you have not been following the Opti News, this is a harmonization concept or harmonization kind of layout where RC ledge or the AC ledge is not counted into the floor area. Milka mentioned the 2-bedroom has a mixture of traditional and also the dumbbell layout. 2-bed plus study, you will see it is a dumbbell layout where the study is towards the side of the bedroom. So if you are an investor and you are planning to rent out this room, what you can do, you can actually make 2 master room in this place lah, in this kind of unit where you will put a door just in between at the study area there. You have to close up, then you will have 2 master bedroom and can charge as a master bedroom.
So other 2-bedroom types are your B1, B2, B3, which comes in various sizes as well, not too much difference. 58 square meter, 624 square feet, 635 square feet, and then 667 square feet. Okay, the kitchens are all windowless. You only get the electrical hob, 2 hobs for the 2-bedders.
For the common room, most likely will be able to fit in a queen size bed, and also the master room will be a king size bed minimally. Okay, because of the harmonization, we will not see. Hopefully, we don't see any more shoe size bedrooms going forward.
Next, we are looking at the 3-bedroom plus home shelter plus study. So this will be one of the show flat units in binary residences. Okay, so it's 98 square meters, 1,055 square feet. What's different about this layout compared to the other 3-bedders is this layout includes a study near the master bedroom. So it's a flexible study space that can be expanded to become part of your master bedroom as a walk-in wardrobe or as a kids baby room. Okay, so you can make that study however you like. For the 3-bedder, you will get a window in the kitchen as well as a window in the master bath. Okay, so if you're buying for homestay, of course, the home shelter will be a better choice for you than the 3-bedroom without a home shelter. Because firstly, it's bigger and you have home shelter for maybe you have a helper. The home shelter can be converted to a helper's room, or you can keep all your stuff in the home shelter, all your extra stuff.
Okay, so we are looking now at the most premium 4-bedroom type, which is the type D5, which comes up to 129 square meter with 1,389 square feet. So for this type of bedroom, which is the more exclusive one, where when you enter the door, there is actually an exclusive
entryway or hallway into the main living area itself.
Yes, correct. Then after that, from there, once you enter the hallway, you can see the whole house all flush to the side, the bedroom all flush to the side, ensuring maximum privacy, even if let's say guests were to come over. It comes with a wet and dry area and also a bomb shelter in the kitchen, as well as a small helper's toilet. Okay, so if let's say you are not comfortable of having your guests to use your other toilets, okay, maybe this inside the kitchen also can be another toilet for your guests who comes over. Okay, so in total we can see it comes with 4 toilets. We have a junior bath which is connected to 2 common rooms. So interestingly, for this balcony, it comes with not only a sliding door but also
Casement door.
a casement door. If you build your study in the living room, if you decide to build your study in the living room, then that can be the door. The door is already ready to be used. Then I guess if you move over to the master bedroom, you will see that there is a walk-in closet kind of concept that the developer has thought through, where from the toilet itself, you come out, that your wardrobe is already ready for you. The master room, if let's say you want a bigger master room, actually the master room can be combined to the bedroom number 4, okay, by putting a door just in front of, after the junior master room, okay, then you will have an enlarged master room. But to my opinion, I feel that the master room is actually big enough. They have space for 2 wardrobe, one for the lady and one for the man. There's not much necessity to do that lah. And again, all the common rooms are minimally about 9 meters square. We have yet to confirm the size, but looking at the layout itself, it shows you can put a queen size bed in all of the common rooms and minimally a king size bed on the master room.
Okay, next we'll look at the biggest unit of all, 5-bedroom, 137 square meters at 1,475 square feet. Okay, so all rooms, of course, can fit a queen size bed. The master can fit a king size. There's also a junior master bathroom that links to a junior master bath with windows.
So unlike the 4-bedroom just now that we see, where the toilet is in the middle of 2 common rooms, where then that 2 common rooms can turn into a junior master room. But for this one, it's a proper junior master room. Okay, I think this kind of concept is much better for those people who are staying with their elderly person, elderly parents, okay, where they can have their own private toilet, okay, other than just now the 4-bedroom is also quite good intention. But however, the idea to close 2 doors at one time, sometimes some people like forget.
Yes, the 4-bedroom is more like a Jack and Jill type of layout. Maybe your kids can share one bathroom, but whereas for the 5-bedder is specially only one bath is attached to the only one bedroom is attached to the junior master bath. So it's more exclusive for maybe your elderly parents.
Yeah, again to take note, for the 5 bedroom, there's only 12 of this kind of unit in the whole 588 units. So of course they will need to make it the cream of the crop, something very very exclusive. Okay, now, I'm not saying that the 4 bedroom kind of layout is less is less better, but we are talking about new kind of layout.
And you can see that the master bath, you actually get two basins, the his and her double basin. So this is something interesting that the developers has put into this 5 bedroom to make it the most exclusive unit of all.
Okay, so interestingly also we have for the 5 bedroom, we have the wet and dry area, okay, which is quite common for the it's quite common after if you buy a 4 bedroom and above. However, the 5 bedroom, the dry area, it's like a pantry kind of layout where it's closer to the dining area. So if let's say you're doing just some simple preparation or making a coffee, yeah, I think this dry area would be fantastic. Like if you do not want to go in all the way to the kitchen, given the uh, floor area that you need to pass by from your master room to the kitchen. So for quick snack, you can just grab it, so-called at the dry kitchen, which is a quite interesting concept, very seen in many of the developments.
So which is your favorite layout?
So my favorite layout, if of course, if let's say you can buy, we will buy the biggest lah, the 5 bedroom lah. There's no favorite. So it really depends on the affordability one and what is the how's the situation like for your family. So every family is different in that case. Yeah, I think if let's say I'm going for the 2 bedder, I will go for the 2 bedder B1 type. Because firstly, the square foot is only 58 square meter, so this is quite a good entry price, and also the layout is a dumbbell layout. So if let's say I have a certain budget and I want to maximize rental income and rental yield, I will go for this kind of layout. So as a family or a person who wants to buy this area as a 3 bedder, okay, the one that I would avoid would be the C1, okay, where the dumbbell, it looks like a dumbbell unit where 2 common room is at the side and 1 common room is at the other side of the house. Okay, firstly, it creates some kind of segregation. Okay, imagine you put your son at one side of the house and your daughter at the other side of the house. Later they will say, hey, mommy, daddy, you don't like me, or what, you put me at the side of the house. I feel as a parent, I would avoid that kind, even if, let's say I'm thinking to rent out the house. The 3rd bedroom to rent out the house is quite challenging because the common bath will be at the middle of the house. You want a dumbbell unit because you have this thinking that you want privacy, but having a tenant walking all over your house is a bit strange for me in this concept lah. Okay, but again, that is just my opinion. Okay, for the 3 bedder, I think it makes more sense. Firstly, it must at least have a home shelter. I think for a three room, as I can afford, I will buy something with a home shelter. Okay, would be the type C4. Okay, where all the rooms are flush to the right. Okay, if let's say I have to compare between C4 and C5, I will take the C5 unit, firstly because there's a unique entryway.
There's a more private entryway where you can see the living area.
Also, for me personally, I think the hygiene purposes, the toilet is not facing the room, which is also a plus point for me for C5.
How about the 4 bedroom units?
For the 4 bedroom units, right, something that I will look out for would be whether it has a home shelter or if there are any flexi room. Okay, if you see for D1 and D2, the difference is, okay, one has a study and one do not have a study. So D1 do not have a study, which is slightly smaller, and the D2 is slightly bigger with a study. So both of them comes with a flexi storeroom. Okay, where so this flexi storeroom is quite a nice concept where you can convert it either to a study or to a storeroom. So technically, you will have 5 bedrooms in total. If let's say you decided to change the flexi storeroom to a room. Previous new launches such as the Lentor
Mansion,
the flexi storeroom comes with an aircon. So hopefully for this development, it does come. Then from there you can see that yeah, this is very practical room to use for you to change it to a study room and still maintain the spacious layout on the living area. Okay, so for the type 3 and type 4, it comes with a proper home shelter. Okay, so this is a home shelter, unless of course there are people who say they will host or house their helper in this storeroom. Not sure how. Yeah, so for D3 and D4, the difference is just only the entryway to the house. Okay, D4 provides a more private entryway, while D3 is just
A straight corridor.
a straight corridor.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a pros and cons for both. One, D4 gives you maximum privacy, but however, it takes up into your living area. Okay, and you're paying that space for just for that privacy. So it really depends on how you value privacy.
Okay, next we'll go into the exit reality. When we buy, we need to think about how do we exit next time. Okay, so not just buying is easy, but exiting can be a long process. So we have to be confident to be sure that we can exit safely next time when we want to sell our house.
Okay, so we are looking at the break-even analysis. Land bid went for $1,004 per square feet. Then includes the construction cost, another 800. So estimated break-even cost will be about 1,823 square feet. Okay, of course, it's just construction and expenses, not inclusive of the marketing, the paying the bank, the whatever fees that they need to pay. Okay, so we expect the launch price will be about 2003 and 2004. Okay, and I think if let's say we are estimating this price, that's not so bad lah, given that
it is a mixed development and even is comparable to Parktown Tampines as well. Okay, so we haven't gotten any indicative prices from the developers yet. So this is just an estimated launch price that we have considered, okay, based on the land bid, the construction and expenses, and the break-even cost.
I think at 2003 and 2004, I think the market or the buyers in Tampines can already accept that, given that Parktown has already launched price at 2003, which is actually last year's price. So if let's say this year at 2003, 2004, I think it's still quite a very good deal given the developer's profile.
So who are your pool of buyers next time? They will be those from your MOP houses around the area. You have a constant flow of BTO upgraders from the time where Pinery TOPs in 2029 up till 2033. Okay, so why these people would want to upgrade to Pinery residences? Probably they are already staying near their parents in Tampines. They want to continue staying in a mature estate because their kids' schools are there, their enrichment classes are there, and they just want to stay in Tampines. So these are your pool of buyers next time. And also St. Hilda's being 1 kilometer away is definitely a pool for any families looking to buy into the Tampines area. Okay.
So one of the risks that we see is, of course, the price, the entry price. Okay, given that the land cost is high, the construction cost is high, we estimated it's about 2.3 to 2.4, or even though we say it's the same like Parktown. Okay, but however, we are thinking about the next buyer who's going to buy our property. Okay, in future we might be selling at least 2.5, 2.6, 2.7. Okay, given at that high price, buyers will also consider other older estates that is going at 1.7 today in today's market, the resale market. Yeah, so that will be a little bit of risk that we can see, that we can assume might happen in future.
Yeah, so resale around the area is already going for 1.7 up to 1.9. So that is relatively lower than what Pinery is going for, 2.3 to 2.4K. So that is the risk that we have to take. However, we must remember that this is a mixed development project. Okay, so it's a very rare and scarce project all over Singapore. So they are considered rare assets that you will have.
I think also interesting point to put it also, if let's say this is something new with the harmonization. So the first harmonization project has not been sold yet in the market. So we want to see how given that today's project that's being built is more space efficient, but however to translate on paper, we have not seen any reports yet because the first harmonization project has not been sold to the resale buyers at this prior moment. Okay, however, for buyers out there in future, we'll also compare one unit that is harmonized versus a non-harmonized unit, and they will see a vast difference between the spaces. Yeah, so they will compare those pre-harmonization versus the post-harmonization, and they will see a vast difference in the living space.
And of course, land is scarce in Singapore, so land prices keep increasing, and this would be a new baseline for future condos in the future.
Given that it's close proximity to the MRT station, okay, then we will see a lot of tenants wanting this area, prefer this area rather than the other outskirts of Tampines. Okay, as we know from experience, a lot of tenants do not drive. Okay, they need or use the public transport to get to work, to get to the place, to get everywhere in Singapore. Having a strong pool of tenants will protect the rental yield even during downturns.
Yes, and being like what you mentioned, the transformations that are happening around Tampines itself will help maintain, if not drive, but maintain the price of the property. Okay, so who should buy and who should skip? If you have budget constraints, of course, you want to go for the lowest PSF, but still get your 3-bedder, 4-bedder, 5-bedder. And if you don't mind walking to amenities, taking a bus to the MRT station, of course, you can consider older resales, which are much cheaper.
For those people who always been a nature lover, most likely they will have a hard time wanting to buy this place. Okay, firstly, this is at Tampines, the heart of Tampines, where a lot of hustle and bustle is happening. We are actually along the road Tampines Street 93, which connects to PIE and also to Bedok. So that road itself will be very, very busy. On top of that, this is an integrated project. Okay, we have people coming in to the shopping malls, and you know, if you see the Pasir Ris currently, what I had when I want to turn into the car park, it will take a bit of time to reach my home because of the traffic outside the development. Okay, so if let's say you want a peace of mind, some tranquility, and do not want the busyness of this area, so this might not be a place for you. As mentioned just now also, we are since this is an integrated project, mixed development, this is a mixed development, we are not paying the lowest PSF, we are actually paying a premium because of all the amenities around.
So who should buy?
So I think those people who love the convenience, going down your doorstep where NTUC, supermarket, food court, everything is there. I think that's one thing that I don't mind having, okay, where everything is just below my doorstep.
I think for me, as a parent, of course, if we are working parents, when we take the MRT down, we can immediately go and buy your chicken rice, your mee goreng at the retails and restaurants, and then bring it up to our house for dinner. Okay, we don't need to cook. It is a value that we can rarely get unless we live in a mixed development. So you just stop at your MRT after work, grab a chicken rice packet, and then go up to your house. Yeah. Okay, so if you're interested in Pinery Residences, it will be launching in middle of March. Okay.
Yeah, if you'd like to have updates, you just click the link in this video. Okay, so that just say that you're interested to know more about Pinery Residence or any new launch that you want to be updated. So from let's say the developer give us the latest news, the latest price, the latest whatever, you will be the first to know. I'm Andi.
I'm Meta.
And we hope to see you in the next episode of
New Condo Reviews.
Bye.